NBA titles back-to-back when we continue. A misfired shot for glory in '88 became a rallying cry in '89. That painful experience brought Joe Dumars and his Pistons teammates closer together, united by a clearly defined mission and their genuine affection for each other.
I loved being a part of that team. I loved playing with those guys. I wouldn't trade playing with those guys and winning championships to play with any other team and win championships. I love playing with Lambeer. I love playing with Isaiah. I love playing with Mahorn and Rodman and Sally. I love playing with Vinnie Johnson. I mean, it was just a great, great group to be around because you knew they wanted to win. I mean, and you knew that they would do anything. They would sacrifice anything to win championships. And it was a special, special group for us to be a part of.
I like the angle. I like the angle. I like the angle.
We could be in the Chicago Stadium and there'd be 18,000 people screaming and going crazy. And Joe would be open in the corner and I would hear him go, psst, psst. And I throw the ball to him. And we just had like a great connection with each other. And it was almost like we were brothers playing basketball together.
We came in with this, we're going to dominate you, we're going to take your crowd, we're going to shut you up, and we kind of lived off that visiting team audience. So we walked in with attitude like, we're here to win this game. We came in with a very, very confident mentality.
And the numbers showed it. A 63-19 regular season record put them in prime position for a playoff run. They advanced to the finals and a rematch with the Lakers. The chance for redemption was seized by the Pistons, and especially Dumars, who kept a year-old promise he'd made to himself.
Well, he didn't miss. I remember Joe literally being in his zone. No one can guard him. They put Cooper on him, it didn't make a difference. Magic was trying to guard him, it didn't make a difference. And he took over. Because everybody was concentrating on Isaiah. But this was, you know, the guy who no one was really paying attention to. And he had a lot to prove, and he did it.
Joe was in a great rhythm at that time. He was shooting the basketball well. He was taking it off the dribble. He was passing. He was doing everything in that series. And he was fun to watch. He was really fun to watch. And he was exceptionally good that series. And he's an exceptional player anyway, but that series, I would say that was probably some of the best basketball that he's played.
I was as relaxed as you could be. And just had a real calm sense that this is done. This is done. This is done. And there was, it wasn't even a doubt.
Last year, the Pistons had a 3-2 lead. But couldn't win one of the last two. Now they'll do it. World champs.
Like the man said, it was done in a 4-game sweep, and Joe was named the series MVP. But the Pistons' run was far from over. The following season, it was more of the same for the Bad Boys. Dominance culminating in a meeting with the Trailblazers in the finals. After splitting the first 2 games in Detroit, the teams headed to Portland. But as they arrived for Game 3, the Pistons received sad news. Joe's father, who had long suffered from a variety of health problems, including diabetes, had passed away that morning.
I knew before the game that his father had passed, and Joe didn't know. And his mother and his brother, they wanted him to play the game, and they wanted us to tell him after the game. And knowing what I knew and watching him play the way he played, there was one shot during the game where shot clock was running down, and he put up a shot that almost touched the rafters, you know, and you know, the shot didn't hit anything but net. And I said to myself as we were running down court, yeah, I know who put that shot in.
I have a big game, player of the game, walk off the court, go in the locker room. Chuck Daly comes in, Jack McCloskey comes in. Joe, you need to come out here with us. I'm thinking I'm going back out to talk to Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. You need to go in this room. What room? I'm walking down the hall with them. You need to take a phone call in this room. It takes me about 5 seconds for it to register. Take a phone call. Who's doing the interview with a phone? I'm thinking interview. I'm sweating. I mean, I just walked off the court. So I'm soaking wet. And then right before I got to the door, it hit me. It struck me that, my dad died. And take the phone call. My wife called me, and she tells me my father had passed that morning before the game. And they had made the decision just, not to call me before the game, but just wait until the game was over and tell me after the game. And so I took the phone call. I hung up the phone. I turned around. Isaiah's there. We embrace. Talked to Jack McCloskey, Chuck Daly there. They were all right there for me. We all embrace. And then I say, you know what? I guess I got to go home. And so I go back to the hotel. And I called my mom. First time I talked to her, and she was great. She was great on the phone. And I said, well, listen, I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna come home tonight.
He said, well, they told me I can get a plane out and come on home. I said, no, go on, finish your game out. And then you come home, I say, because he gone now. There's no sense in you coming right now.
That conversation right there just kind of, it made it okay for me then, because she was as cool and calm as you could possibly get. And that's how I got through, dealing with that series.
Joe stayed with the team, and the team stayed on course for a second consecutive title, winning the next 2 games and the championship in Portland. But for Joe, the moment was bittersweet.
It was interesting because you're celebrating that Thursday night in the locker room, and everybody is jumping up and down screaming. And I found myself kind of wanting to get into the celebration, but knowing that I'm going to get up the next morning and go and bury my father. And so it was the most surreal night for me that I've ever had, just surreal.